Good evening, friends. It's day 16 of A Poem a Day for 2026, and that does, of course, make it the 16th of January. It's Friday. It's the end of the formal working week, and I personally am very glad. I've pretty much just finished work, and I'm tired. I hope that you too are finished with work. I hope that if you have to work over the weekend or overnight or anything like that, that you have your work besties with you, you have nice things for your breaks and your lunches, all the good stuff. I'm wishing you all the positivity for any work that you may need to do this weekend. But in the interest of getting to the weekend that little bit quicker, let's dive straight into the Big Red Book and see what's waiting for us today. There it is, nice and warm, waiting for me. Okay. So, today we have a piece entitled The Burial of Sir John Moore by Charles Wolfe, and our blurb reads as follows. Charles Wolfe was a 19th century Irish priest, but is better remembered for this poem on the burial of Sir John Moore. The poem was a favourite of the great poet Lord Byron, who was largely responsible for its popularity after Wolfe's death. The Battle of Corunna in Spain was fought between France and Britain in 1806 as part of the larger Napoleonic Wars. Sir John Moore, a distinguished general who was in charge of the British forces, was fatally wounded by cannon fire at Corunna. Wolfe's words serve to commemorate Moore as a hero. So this is The Burial of Sir John Moore by Charles Wolfe. Not a drum was heard, not a funeral note, as his course to the rampart was hurried. Not a soldier discharged his farewell shot o'er the grave where our hero was buried. We buried him darkly at dead of night, the sods of our bayonets turning, by the struggling moonbeam's misty light, and the lantern dimly burning. No useless coffin enclosed his breast, nor in the sheet nor shroud we wound him, but he lay like a warrior taking his rest, with his martial cloak around him. Few and short were the prayers we said, and we spoke not a word of sorrow, but we steadfastly gazed on the face that was dead, and we bitterly thought of the morrow. We thought as we hollowed his narrow bed, and smoothed down his lonely pillow, that the foe and the stranger would tread o'er his head, and we were far on the billow. Lightly they'll talk of the spirit that's gone, and o'er his cold ashes upbraid him. But little he'll reck, if they let him sleep on, in the grave where Britain has laid him. But half of our heavy task was done, when the clock struck the hour for retiring, and we heard the distant and random gun that the foe was sullenly firing. Slowly and sadly we laid him down, from the field of his fame fresh and gory. We carved not a line, and we raised not a stone, but we left him alone in his glory. Quite a respectful piece, for what sounds like quite a great war hero. Solid words. couple of days of it's been a mixed bag of a week. We've had some real wit and whimsy and some very moving things. I hope you're still all with me, and we'll see what tomorrow holds for us. It will likely be considerably lighter when I film tomorrow, ahead of the evening release, as I will be out adventuring, at least in my mind, as I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons with some friends. So I'm going to record before I go out. Friends, I hope you have a wonderful evening, whatever you're doing, and I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.